Hi, I'm Brian and welcome to a 3 plays, 3 picks video. And the point of these videos, apart from sharing this music with you, is to make sure I start listening to, or I continue listening to music which is in my collection. Maybe something that's been in there for a while and is collecting dust, or maybe something that I've bought recently and it's gone into the I just bought this recently crate and it hasn't come out for a while, or if ever. So I'm giving myself 3 plays to see if I can come up with 3 picks and ask the question whether I'm going to keep it or purge it, I suppose, as well. But very importantly, just to get me listening to music. And today I'm going to look at this album, which is Altered Images' Happy Birthday. It came out in 1981. There's the back cover. It's very nice, isn't it? And we've got inners, which is beautiful. And this is just on the traditional Epic sleeve, Epic label, should I say. We all know what that is. And it's an album which is ranked highly on the critical landscape. And it's one that I bought probably 4 years ago, played it a couple of times, and then it is, as I say, just collecting dust, which sounds more mellow and calm than collecting dust. Don't know why I went there, but I did. Anyway, on the band, in the band, we've got Clare Grogan on vocals and her very distinctive voice. We've got Michael Titch Anderson on drums, and then we've got Tony McDade on guitar, John McAlone on bass, and Jimmy McKinven on guitar. Now, with all those Macs, you've got to appreciate this is a Scottish album. So the question must be asked, can I play this 3 times? Well, I have already. But did I find 3 picks? And am I going to purge this or keep it in my collection? Well, let's find out. One gets the sense that this band knows how to get popular pretty quickly because they have the killer single on this album, Happy Birthday, but we have snippets from it to start the album and to end the album. So the first track is called Intro, Happy Birthday, and it's just a little bit of a tease, which gets us, I suppose, into the mood of the album, but then it's the pleasure is withheld, if we want to say go there, because the actual song comes up on side 2. So what we really do start with is Love and Kisses, and I love the floor toms and the arpeggios and the way the guitars interplay here. And Claire's voice is absolutely spot on. It's quite haunting and it really picks up with a measured guitar solo. Now, here's the thing which is ongoing, I suppose, by listening to this album, is that there's a Claire in there, and a chair as well. Anyway, with Claire there, we kind of sort of, I find it very difficult to understand what the hell she's singing about. I love the texture of her voice and the cutesy element. I think it works really well, particularly on a song like Happy Birthday. But often I'm left answering, what are the lyrics all about? And then when I do a deep dive and do the search on the net, I realize that most of the time, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. But we've got this, as I said, this wonderful, wonderful inner. And I wonder whether they could have just put the lyrics on there as well. Would it have killed them to give us those lyrics? Anyway, Love and Kisses is the real opening song on this album, and it's definitely one of my picks I love it, one of my picks for the 3 picks. We then go into Real Toys, which has a sense of Joy Division, and I think the shadow of Joy Division is hanging definitely over this band, which is kind of a weird thing to say when their big hit is Happy Birthday and it's so joyous and exuberant. But the rest of the album doesn't sort of match that. It's much more trying to get its feet into post-punk and early new wave when it was a bit edgy. It's absolutely passable, but that Joy Division idea comes through in the bass line, the hooksy style bass line, and also in the guitar. It's not fully formed, but I got no complaint about this song. I really kind of like it. We move then into a song which has a great new wave post-punk sound, and that is Idols. And that is Idols, which is delivered really through that bass. And the indebtedness to Peter Hook here, I don't think can be understated. Again, it sounds a lot like a new band trying to find their feet. And it's one of these songs, and I'll say it once here, maybe other times as well, that I really wish that I could have seen this band do it live in 1981. I think they would have been really suited towards the pubs and the hotels and the small gigs. And maybe it doesn't come through quite as well on record. But having said that, I still absolutely love it. Again, as I said, Joy Division is really apparent throughout this, and this is not a bad thing at all. Next song up is called Legionaire, which has got a strong melody, which is coming through this mainly instrumental song. There's lots of la 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 for Claire, But it's really, again, this sense of an embryonic band, a band in its embryonic phase, trying to get it together and discover who they are. And I've always thought, I might give the second album much more of a go, which is Pinky Blue, but it's got Sung Blue on it, which I have heard. Mm, get that taste away anyway. The next song is Faithless, and it comes off to a great start. It's very much in the cold, austere sort of setting, and maybe something like Closer Again. And Claire sings passionately over the top of it. Again, it's difficult to understand the lyrics, but I kind of really love this one. And this is one of the occasions where I did a deep dive into the lyrics, and I think I found some good ones. Wind blowing, table shatters. Now we are in darkness. I think I can hear you calling. Speak to me. Speak to me. And this is a pick. Oh, I should have said it's definitely a pick. I should have said, so I've got 2 out of 3 already with Happy Birthday coming up. That sounds like a sort of a moot exercise to go through with. But I've decided not to make Happy Birthday one of my picks, um, just so we can open up the field a little bit more and see if there are 3 other picks on this album. And the final song on side 1 is called Beckoning Strings. And this one also almost moves into a sort of early 90s garage punk, sort of post-punk grunge sort of song. And another song I really think that would have come alive live, but unfortunately it just doesn't get to me there. And there are moments within this song where I just wonder whether the band just gave themselves a key and they were going to jam on that key. Back in the old days, used to jam with other people, myself and they didn't know much. It was let's play something in E. Cool. Let's try something in F. Oh, that bar chord's pretty difficult. So, what are we doing? What are we doing? Anyway, side 2 starts off, and it starts off with Happy Birthday. And it's a really great single. I don't know that it's amazingly brilliant, but it's a really great single, I suppose. I hope I'm not contradicting myself. It's up there. And it's produced by Martin Rushent rather than Steve Severin on this. It's the only song he came in and did. And the sheen, the clearer sound definitely is apparent, and it's much more melodic than the other song. So it is a bit of an outlier, which again makes it a reason maybe not to have it as a pick. It's an earworm. We've got the xylophone or the vibe starting us off, and it's certainly more immediate in production, especially from the bass, but then we get into the other instruments as well. Rhythm guitars, drums are on the money, really good. Happy birthday in a hot bath to those nice nights, to those nice nights, to those nice nights. Does that make any sense? Anyway, I remember always I got such a fright seeing them in my dark cupboard with my great big cake. Well, there you go. Was it worth the trawl? Anyway, it's I don't think it's a major slice of 80s pop music. Maybe it is, I don't know. But I always smile when I play it, and that's always a good thing. Midnight's up next, and we sort of notice immediately the difference between the pop sheen of Happy Birthday and the sort of Steve Severin produced darkness as well. And they are different beasts, there's no doubt about that. It's got a really cool feel to this song all the way through, but the drumming is a little bit straightforward and a bit sort of doesn't do much. It's just straightforward, heavy, and sort of maybe not something that I really enjoy that much listening to. Um, Next song is, I think, the first single. I'm not sure whether this came out way before uh, the album did, or whether it was a single in the lead up, but it's called A Day's Wait. And for here, the drumming really stands out early on. It's got a great snare drum, and the bass is down a little bit in the mix here, but I love the guitars, and maybe it's due to the addition of Gerard Caesar McNulty, the band's manager for the track. This is very post-punk. Fantastic extended intro with piano and guitars playing the opening melody, and then the instruments come in and build up on the riff, and it's rather fantastic. It's a price of admission, a moment into this album, if you ask me, and I think it's worth having just for this riff, to tell you the truth. Um, Love the descent. Then we go into the kick drum, the bass, and the guitar band. So we've gone from overwhelming us, I suppose, with some great some great music down into sort of a simplicity. And over that, then Claire can sing A Day's Wait because my train's late. My train, it didn't come. It just didn't come. A day's wait because my train's late. My train, it didn't come. It just didn't come. Wow. Um, what to say about those lyrics? I mean, I get them, in terms of they work kind of okay in as one verse, but they repeat it three times throughout, and that's the only lyric, so I'm not too sure. Anyway, I love it. I love the song. It's definitely a pick for me, and I think I'm out of picks now. Am I? Yes, I am. Next song is "Leave Me Alone," and I've sort of heard that ascending three chord progression so many times. Let's play it relentlessly while Claire warbles over the top. I think that's the idea. Again, it would have been a great song to hear live, and it's a song about neuroses. And it may have been a showstopper or equally an assault in the live situation. I'm not sure really how I feel about this one. And the lyrics sort of back up the sort of negativity that I might be feeling for it with I hate her now, despise her now, loathe her now, hate her now. Yeah, she's disgusting, disgusting to me. Yeah. Really interesting to try and reconcile that image of Kate Grogan as being so happy and quaint and chirpy. And I mean all of those things positively with some of these lyrics. It's a real juxtaposition between um, maybe appearances and catharsis. Next up is Insects, and the neuroses really continue on this one. This is a song which really stood out for me when I first listened to the album when I got it 2 or 3 years ago. Um, but it's a song which I think I'm just going to have to sort of say, I don't really know why it stuck with me because there's no really sort of catchy chorus, but it just did. Um, as the closer, really, sort of closer for this album, it's a little bit underwhelming, but I love that last piece of sustained guitar. And finally, we come to the real closer, if you can call it that, and it's called Outro Happy Birthday. And where is it? There it is down there. There's Happy Birthday. And there's intro happy birthday. And my only question about this is why? The song's not that great. One can only imagine that a reason would be that it's just going to it's an earworm and people will like it and flip the side over and keep going with it and tell their friends. Although there may be an alternate viewpoint here, which is the band looking into the future and saying, you know what? In 44 years, there's going to be this guy on this thing called YouTube, which is a platform on the internet which nobody's ever heard of, and he's going to be doing these 3 plays, 3 picks videos. So let's help him out. Let's just enable him to make the easy choice, because in the world of altered images, we like to make things easy. We like to be supportive. We like to make sure all of our listeners feel comfortable. And so he can just choose intro happy birthday, and outro happy birthday. No, 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 no. Not going to do it. I've chosen A Day's Wait, Faithless, and Love and Kisses, just in case we forgot that. But anyway, I mean, it is nice to sort of reconnect with the song. I'm just glad it didn't go any further and like they released it on Pinky Blue or something like that. The lyrics, as we sort of sum up here, are generally fairly simple, or word pictures which don't really take us anywhere. And the real complexity, I think, on this album comes from the combination of music, Claire's voice and the sound of her voice, and the dissonance that they're able to get into these songs, which is really cool. I'm not sure there's a weak song on this album, and because of that, I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to enjoy it one more time, maybe 2 more times, 3 more times, who knows? But I'm looking forward to listening to it because it does give me some pleasure. And reminding you that if music of any size, shape, sound, subject, or insects gives you pleasure, then who am I to argue with your opinion? If you'd like to see more of these album reviews, they're over there. And there's some good ones in there, then there might be something which really takes your fancy. And don't forget, until next time, make sure you're staying well, staying cool, and bye now.